Hey guys, how's it going? It's Danconia and welcome back to Overwatch. And I've never been sure how to word this video. It's a really weird one. So, it's funny the way this channel's gone in the past couple of months, actually. Obviously, you know, there's been a lot of esports content for Overwatch going up on the channel recently with the Overwatch World Cup and the Overwatch League, and it's doing incredibly well, and I'm really grateful for that. But this channel, if you didn't know, because you might be a subscriber from that content or whatever, was always based on gameplay. And I wanted to kind of address the reason it hasn't been around, and also kind of like a realization I had because it hasn't been around, okay? So, obviously, I love the game of Overwatch through and blooming through. I live and breathe the stuff. I have a London Spitfire flipping jacket right behind me that I wish I could get another one of, but Fanatics won't sell them anymore. And I've got literally an Overwatch merchandise everywhere. It's crazy. But I live and breathe this game, and I absolutely love playing it. And my core love for Overwatch is competitive, right? It always has been. And I think that's a lot of people's core love for Overwatch. I mean, I think the majority of the community will always say that they come to Overwatch to play competitive rather than quick play or arcade, even though arcade and quick play can be very fun. But obviously you get an incredible amount of reward out of playing competitive when you're successful. Obviously you're not always successful, that's just comings and goings of competitive. Anyway, I wanted to bring a lot of series to the channel concerning Overwatch Competitive and doing like gameplay videos, and it kind of never came to the forefront. I kind of mentioned a lot of this early this year, and it kind of never happened, and I want to kind of address why. Now, some of you might know, some of you might not know that I have a health condition, and it kind of limits me at times when it flares up, and at the moment, it's pretty bad, even though sometimes I don't kind of like express that it is. It's kind of like a hidden thing at times. But at times, it means I have to take an enforced break from playing competitive Overwatch. And the reason for that is I might have to up and leave my PC at any time. And so, if I am in a competitive game, I'm not one of those people that can just leave a competitive game and just take the 50 SR hit. I feel incredibly guilty. I feel awful if I had to do that. And I have had to do that 3 times over the past couple of years. Oh, actually, over my entire competitive career. That's what I can say. Because I don't like doing it. I will not go into a competitive game knowing I run that risk. I will cancel the queue or whatever. And with the longer queue times these days, it's actually not too bad. Although maining a tank, your queues aren't that long. But I wanted to bring a lot of this content to the channel. I had an idea for like a Genji series because I am absolutely awful at Genji, and I was going to learn him and everything, but because my health got worse, I couldn't do it. And it was a shame. It was a shame, I'm not going to lie. But it gave birth to me doing much more esports content, right? And covering the Overwatch League. I was always going to cover the Overwatch League, right? I've covered the Overwatch League since it was created. Or started, and I love that series. I love the League Roundup. It's just such a great series, and I love watching the Overwatch League. I'm so invested in it, and it'll always continue. And now we branch out into the Overwatch World Cup, which was really good. And I want to do more contenders content. The problem is with contenders, there's so many regions to cover. It can be a big headache. I did do a contenders roundup once, but it can be a big headache to do that one. But hey, it might return at some point. I've always wanted to make it return, but it's a lot of investment. So, I've always wanted to keep gameplay alive on the channel. And I go into Overwatch to play competitive. If I can't play competitive, I sometimes don't play Overwatch. I'm not going to lie. Deathmatch kind of tilts me a lot because I don't really... I mean, the other day I had a game where I had to go up against a Sigma and a Roadhog in deathmatch, and that just annoys me. That just annoys me. Please don't do that. Please don't do that to deathmatch. It's a dying game mode. Please give it some slack. Anyway, so when I have these problems with my health, I have to basically, when it gets bad, I just have to take a break from competitive. I don't want to run the risk. I will either tank my SR, I will tank other people's SR, I will basically throw their games. And I won't do that. So I make a conscious decision not to play. And I think that's the right thing to do. So when I do that, it's obviously like an enforced break. And I've had to do it recently. So the past season, until this season, I haven't really played all that much Overwatch Competitive because, yes, the meta hasn't been brilliant, but I still would have played it. I'm addicted to this game, what can I say? But I still would have played it. I absolutely still would have played it. But I drew back because I couldn't guarantee that I would be in a fit state to play it. And it made me think recently. I think sometimes, even if you weren't forced to have a break, I think sometimes taking a break from a game that you play an incredible amount can have very beneficial side effects. I know a lot of us, if you're in the Overwatch scene, you love the game. You absolutely love it through and through. I very often wouldn't play anything else. Yeah, I know I do a bit of Fortnite on the channel, but I don't play that nowhere near as much as I play Overwatch. And at the moment, I'm getting back into Overwatch, back into the groove of things. I've played probably 15 games in the past week, but that's probably, you could span that back to the past 2 months I've played 15 games, and they've been in the past week, simply because I haven't been able to play the game like I've wanted to. Now, during this break, it's kind of like, it's given me a sanity check in some respects, and I've heard other people say this as well. Sometimes taking a short break from Overwatch it can refresh you. And at my SR, I have never, you go back in rusty. You always do. If I have this break, I always play quite a bit of deathmatch and quick play to get back into it, because you get rusty. You obviously do when you take a break. But once you get it back into the groove of things start to fall into place sometimes when I do it, right? So it has not taken me very long to get back to my career high. I almost hit it yesterday. Just being back for about a week, I literally almost hit my career high yesterday. And it kind of made me think, like, yeah, I've always been worried that if you take too much of a break from it, you get so rusty that it takes you months to get back to where you were. But I think actually it's a bit of a myth. It may be the case at very, very high levels, but the core, aspect of the game, if you've played it for long enough, like most of us have, it comes back so darn quickly. And I've found that sometimes taking this break can just check out your sanity, right? Because we all know how tilting Overwatch can be. And it's got better in recent times with roll lock. We're not tilting because literally we know we're not going to win because we've got 4 DPS, 1 support and a tank. But it's still tilting at times. And taking a step back can sometimes refocus your mind, and you actually play better when you come back. You actually play better, even though you haven't necessarily been playing. And that's what I feel like at the moment. And it's given me this new lease of life to just grind Overwatch again. And it's surprising. Like, not a lot of people are like, I want to grind Overwatch, because Overwatch, it's meta at the moment, and the state of the game with very little in terms of new content. A lot of people don't want to grind the game. They don't see the point unless they're really, really high level, whether they're pro or aiming to be pro. Obviously, I'm not aiming to be pro because I'm nowhere near that level. Hey, if I was ever at that level, I'd be very privileged indeed. But I think sometimes taking a break really, really helps out in terms of how you play your Overwatch. And this is just, I don't know, this is me just talking off the top of my head here. I kind of wanted to get this off my chest, right? Because in the coming weeks and months, I am hoping to bring back a lot more gameplay to the channel. Whether that be talking about Overwatch, the game, instead of the esports scene, but I will still be doing all the esports content because I love that content as well. But I also love Overwatch content in general. So I want to talk about the game. I want to talk about Overwatch 2. I want to talk about what we want to see in the future of the game, whether that be Overwatch 2 or whether that be future patches for Overwatch 1 until Overwatch 2 comes out. I want to talk about all this stuff, and I want to record gameplay for in the back of the videos. Or perhaps I was always on about doing a series of me analysing my own gameplay, which would be, I think, pretty cool. And it would help me improve, because as most people will tell you, the best way to get better at Overwatch is to analyse your own gameplay. And if I create content on that, I can guarantee that I'm going to do it, and I think it will help other people at a similar elo for someone to just look at themselves when they're playing and say, damn, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that, or I should have done this differently, or I should have waited for this guy, or I should have done this or that. And it will benefit me, and it will benefit, hopefully, the people that will watch it, unless you're already better than me, which you probably are. But this is like content I've had in my mind for months, and I haven't been able to do it. Very frustrating, I'm not going to lie. I had a whole notebook full of like a list of gameplay ideas that I haven't been able to do, and I'd love to do it. So I hope to bring that fairly soon to the channel. I'm still not particularly well in myself. That's going to not be sorted until the new year, I wouldn't have thought, but I am a bit better at the moment, to the point where I can actually play Overwatch at the moment, so I'm hoping to bring it back gradually. But one thing always remains. Overwatch, and honestly, this doesn't matter. Meta doesn't matter. State of the game right now doesn't matter. Overwatch is the best game I have ever played. And I think, I'm no future. I don't have prophecies. I don't know what's going to come out in the future. But honestly, I think it will be the best game I have ever played, because it will always be the first of this style of game. It was the first PvP PC game I ever played, and it will always have such a big place in my heart. Overwatch, it always will. Overwatch 2, I am so excited for. Yes, it may not expand on the PvP too much, apart from the new push game mode and all that, but it's still a mega amount of content, and I am actually really hyped for the PvE. I am actually really hyped for that, because that kind of goes back to a bit of my roots before I was ever creating YouTube content or anything. So that should be really cool, and I want to do content on that when it comes out. Goodness knows when it comes out. But I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, just talk. It's a weird video. It's a weird video. But I just wanted to say that, yes, I want to bring gameplay back to the channel, and I just think sometimes, and I think there's other people that perhaps maybe need this advice or have thought about this themselves, that sometimes taking a break for even just a couple of weeks or a month from the game, don't be afraid to do it. And then come back to it, and believe me, your whole look on the game, your whole outlook on the game will be different. Yes, I've come back now, and yeah, the new live service is still Sigma Orisa. And yes, it's a meta where DPS really don't do much. But for some reason, I still love this game. And it's because it just has me coming back every single time. And I don't think I'll ever stop creating content on this game. And it seems really weird to say that. I've been creating content on this game, believe it or not, for years. And I don't see it stopping anytime soon. I got so much content in my head right now, more than I ever have done. And I just want to create stuff. It's so cool. It is so good to have that feeling back again. And a lot of this feeling, especially when talking about Overwatch, has come from just taking a little break. It was enforced. There's nothing I could do about it. But actually, I think in some respects, it's had a really, really good effect. So I'm going to leave it here for this one. This has been a really, really weird video, and I kind of apologize for it, but it's kind of something I kind of wanted to get off my chest. Just be aware, esports content is coming, Overwatch content is coming, and I can't wait to bring an absolute ton of content, and I have not kept this regular of an upload schedule for months. I have uploaded a video every day since before the World Cup, I think. My upload schedule is so regular right now, and I'm really pleased for you guys that I can do this at the moment. And I can't wait to bring so much more content into the channel right now. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. See you then.